right now.
Well, we begin with late breaking news in South Bexar County, where deputies found a woman shot in the head.
Well, this happened near I-37 and Southton Road, and our Garrett Berringer joins us live at the scene.
Yeah, and Garrett, we know that you just spoke with the sheriff.
That's right. We got the basics on this. Basically, call came in around 9:30. When sheriff's deputies got out here, they found a woman inside that truck behind me. The windshield wiper still going on, lights on even as we speak. They found her inside with a gunshot wound to her head. They also found a gun inside the vehicle. But the sheriff tells us that may still not be where it all happened. Now, here's what we know so far. There were some people out here apparently collecting scrap metal. A 35-year-old woman and a 67-year-old man that she's apparently romantically linked with got into an argument, and at least one witness heard some gunshots. Now, the woman was found in the truck with a gunshot wound to her head. The man is being questioned as a possible person of interest. Now, at this point, the sheriff has said that nobody is saying whether or not they whether they saw the man actually shoot the woman, but he is being detained. They say he's not yet a suspect, but right now the deputies are still on the scene. We've seen people back actually down into the woods. The sheriff says that they found what it appears to be some metal or some billboards in this area that were being disassembled. So they think that area back down the woods may be where part of the argument at least happened. They're trying to figure out exactly where their crime scene is. They're not sure if they have everybody who was here at the scene actually in custody. We saw one woman being cuffed and being detained. We're hearing that she is likely a witness, but the sheriff is asking people along this road, it's Hensey Road down here in southeast Bexar County, if they have Ring doorbell cameras or any kind of surveillance camera, if they can check to see around that time of the shooting, that was 9:30 again, see if they see cars zooming off or maybe people coming back in, something to that effect. They're trying to make sure that they've got this all figured out. It's not clear if anybody is going to face charges on this right now. And at this point, the latest we've heard on the victim is that she is in surgery. Sheriff says they're hoping that she does pull through. Live in southeast Bexar County, Garrett Berringer, KSAT 12 News.
Garrett, thank you for that live report. And right now, Kerr County commissioners are talking about a number of flood-related issues, some of which brought out neighbors from Ingram and Kerrville to talk about the importance of their health and the economy. Devin Karp has been following this for the last month now. And Devin, what has happened so far?
Well, the meeting's actually still going on right behind me. I've stepped out just to be able to tell you all this, but one of the big things that drew neighbors out this morning was concerns about draining Lake Ingram. They say time is of the essence when it comes to making sure that this can get done, and they want commissioners behind me here to make sure that they see what's going on. Neighbors say they're worried about the smell of methane coming from the water and what's underneath the surface. They say that time is of the essence in order to get it drained before spring comes, and the cypress trees around the lake need that body of water. So a little bit of background. A month ago, a coalition of about 100 neighbors or so started to work on a petition to drain Lake Ingram. Well, on a meeting Saturday, they revealed they got more than 600 signatures and say they've heard from divers who told them there are cars, debris, and potentially missing people and animal carcasses that could be under Lake Ingram in the water. Commissioners say that they are not against the idea of draining the lake, warning that it would be costly and take a lot of time, but they don't think it should happen as soon as these neighbors want, within a 2-month period, and say they've seen sonar scans that show Lake Ingram doesn't have any cars in it, something that's made neighbors concerned about the future of Ingram without the lake they once had.
We do nothing, our tourism economy will collapse. Property values will continue to plummet. Our tax base will shrink, forcing us to raise taxes to maintain just basic needs.
That was some public comment there from one concerned neighbor. Now, the commissioners say they do want to be transparent and share that information with the public soon, and that right now, the COP recovery is still their top priority. In the meantime, crews are still going out on the water to search for people and any of the debris that is there. County commissioners say that they didn't take any action when it comes to deciding whether or not they would drain Lake Ingram today, but they want to have a workshop meeting with that coalition of neighbors in the future. Those coalition of neighbors say, though, they've been asking for a workshop meeting for the last month and are looking forward to making progress with an important issue to them. For any of the other issues on the agenda that we are covering right now, you can go to KSAT.com to see some of the full stories besides that. But for now, I'll send it back. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you so much, Devin. And as Devin was just saying, parts of recovery after these floods has been slow, but small businesses in Comfort aren't all struggling because of the flooding itself. They told me it's because people aren't coming to visit their community right now. Some places on the river did sustain flooding damage and are having to physically rebuild. But for other restaurants, shops, and hotels, the effect is indirect, but still difficult. They had to shut down during the flood, but when they did open up, there were still barriers.
We had restaurants that were open, but had someone in front of their restaurant serving free food. And you know, you can't be rude about that because it was necessary and it was a great community service they provided. But at the same time, when that's your job right behind them, it hits a little hard.
And businesses are now shutting their doors some days of the week and even having to lay off employees. So the message from Comfort is please come to their businesses, spend your money, and enjoy their town. Tonight at 6, hear about that struggle from a restaurant owner herself.
Looking out there with live cam, we have reached 92 degrees, but I guess the big question later this week for those high school football games, will it be close to the triple digits, Sarah?
It will be close for those high school football games. Now, that being said, we are warming up very quickly. It's already 92 degrees outside today. Today's going to be one of those days where we may just add on to the triple digit tally. I'm forecasting a high of 99, so again, it'll be close. So far, we've had 16 100-degree days. 99 for the high, feeling like 101. Not too humid out there, but definitely hot. The mostly clear tonight with temperatures falling into the 80s. Molds are high today, past 3,000. Pollen count was a little bit delayed, but again, with the molds high, that's not great news. And there could be some additional rain in our forecast starting tomorrow and Wednesday, all because of a rare August Texas cool front. I've got those details coming up in a bit.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Well, U.S. Park Rangers at San Antonio Mission's National Historical Park are asking for your help after vandals caused significant damage at Mission Concepcion. The incident happened overnight between August 20th and August 21st. According to their post on Instagram, suspects forced their way into the convento by throwing large boulders through the wooden door, causing serious damage to both the door and the surrounding structure. The vandals also stole monitoring devices that help track moisture levels inside the historic building, putting the preservation of the site at risk. If you have any information, you can call or text the ISB tip line at 888-653-0009.
Well, a year into a crime reduction program targeting specific hotspots for violent crime, San Antonio police now touting lower crime numbers. So one of those locations was an apartment complex off of Rigsby Avenue, and police say the program works. So their data shows that violent crime went down about 50% and trespassing calls actually stopped. So the study shows overall violent crime is down 22% in targeted hotspots, with a 6% drop spilling into neighboring communities. Our Patty Santos was invited into the apartment complex to find out how they got this done.
Tell me a little bit about some of the issues that were happening here before.
So some of the issues that were happening before were we had a lot of crime activity going on. We had a lot of gang members. That was mostly what we had, was a lot of teenagers running around with guns. You know, families not wanting to come out because they were afraid. Shootings throughout the day, throughout the night.
Silva Maciel manages Rosemont at Highland Park Apartments. They joined the San Antonio Police and UTSA Crime Reduction Program a year ago.
Once we started going at it full force, it just made a big difference in the community. Residents started to come out. You started to see children play. There was different activities going on throughout the complex.
La gente peleaba, gritaba, pero ahorita ya está todo tranquilo. Estoy muy a gusto.
Alma Cepeda, a 3-year tenant, saw more community pride after the complex was cleaned up and patrolled by safe officers and security.
Whenever something happened or whenever he came on to the property, he was the one who called us to tell me, you know, hey, this is what's going on.
Sylvia says management promised to enforce lease rules and evict those who were sheltering criminals. They invested thousands of dollars in a privacy fence, more lighting, and also trimmed bushes and trees for better visibility.
Fixing lighting, fixing fences, this sounds like just regular maintenance that should already be done by any, not just yours, but by any apartment complex. So.
And it is. When you get a property, the first thing you should do is look at the lighting. How safe is it for you to walk out to your car at night?
I'm going to get calls and say, this is still a problem, this is still an issue. You haven't solved, crime hasn't gone away completely.
No.
But this is a start.
Right. And you know, crime is everywhere. You know, it's more so at, you know, one place than another.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Well, part of the reason they say this is working is because committed management called police, outreach groups, and made some tough decisions. Now, keeping it safe will be an ongoing job, and with the new company now owning the complex, we're going to have to see if crime will stay away.
Well, new details this noon after two men were found dead in a southeast side driveway Sunday morning. And right now we're learning that police say a father shot and killed his son and then turned the gun on himself. Now, police say the shooting happened just before 8:30 yesterday morning on DeWitt Avenue near Whitney Avenue. SAPD says a caller found a father in his 60s and a son in his 30s dead from gunshot wounds. A preliminary report from San Antonio police says officers believe the father shot his son and then himself, and that's because they found a gun next to the father's body. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office is still working to confirm their identities.
Well, San Antonio police say this man has been robbing women of their peace of mind. They arrested him after multiple reports of him being a peeping Tom. So this is 34-year-old Ricardo McCleary, and police say that he would attach his phone to a selfie stick and use it to film women inside their apartment. So they add that McCleary may have been doing this since at least 2023. McCleary has been charged with stalking.
Well, you have until this Wednesday or this week on Wednesday to attend one of the city's budget town halls. It's your chance to learn more about the ways San Antonio plans to spend your tax dollars. These meetings will go over the city's plans for its general fund. That fund is like the city's checking account. It covers things like police, fire, parks, the San Antonio Metropolitan Health District, animal care services, and of course regular street maintenance. But here's the problem. Two of the city's biggest sources of revenue, property and sales tax, are growing much more slowly than the cost of providing all of these services. The city estimates that 2026 fiscal year budget will have a $20.8 million deficit. And just 1 year later, that number would explode to $151.8 million. So if you want to give the city your feedback, you can go to this week's meetings. The last few town halls are for people in districts 5, 6, 4, and 8. Two meetings are happening tonight at 6:30, and the final meetings will be tomorrow and Wednesday. American Sign Language and Spanish interpreters will be available.
Well, school officials are holding some emails related to the Robb Elementary School massacre, why they could contain key information.
And global tariffs are having an effect on businesses right here in town. How a new rule that goes into place this week could increase pressure on business owners. Officials are holding back key emails related to the Robb Elementary School massacre, even after a court ordered them to be released. The unreleased emails include a warning by the then principal that classroom doors were not or could not be locked. That email was sent to the school district 9 months before the shooting, which left 19 students and 2 teachers dead. Another email showed district officials asked for a settlement offer from the lawyer of School Police Chief Pete Arredondo before he was fired. The documents were all prepared to be released earlier this month following a lawsuit by several media companies. It's unclear why these documents were not part of that release.
And we are warming up. It is a hot day. Reminder that we are still in August, in spite of the fact that parts of Texas this week are going to struggle to get out of the 60s because of a cool front Unfortunately, that front not making it to San Antonio. It is hot outside. Pollen count shows that molds are high, past 3,000. The aquifer needs a drink of water. It is down 0.6 of a foot over the past 24 hours. We were just talking about this in the studio. Can you believe it's been 8 years since Hurricane Harvey made landfall? We're going to talk a little bit about that historic storm coming up. Of course, that Texas cool front, even though it's not cooling us down, it is going to bring small rain chances for us. And a look ahead to Labor Day weekend. There are some early signals for at least some rain over the holiday. I'll have details coming up. Well, welcome back. Yes, it has been 8 years since Hurricane Harvey made landfall near Rockport. Stephanie and I were just talking. We remember that morning very vividly when we were working early. But by about August 23rd, it formed as a tropical storm in the Gulf and then rapidly strengthened just before landfall to a major Category 4 hurricane before making landfall with 130-mile-per-hour winds near Rockport and Fulton, sustaining major damage to those areas. But it wasn't done because Harvey, if you remember, really meandered. It did a loop-de-loop and meandered along the Texas coast, heading right over water and fueling again. It wasn't until 5 days after it made landfall that it finally dissipated into a tropical depression. So over a period of 5 days, there was so much rain for the Houston area. Hurricane Harvey had maximum winds of 132 miles per hour, maximum rain in some areas closer to Beaumont of over 60 inches of rain. In feet, that is 5 feet of rainfall with a maximum surge of 12.5 feet. Unfortunately, 68 people died because of Hurricane Harvey. And here's a look at the impressive rainfall estimates. Most of the Houston area saw over 30 inches of rain with up to 40 plus in areas from Beaumont down to Port Arthur, 20 inches of rain, 15 to 20 inches of rain for areas like College Station, LaGrange. What I remember here in San Antonio is the vast difference of rainfall totals from San Antonio to even Seguin. So areas near Seguin saw about 10 inches of rain. The airport clocked in just over 2 inches of rain. This is something that taught me as a meteorologist just how important things are when it comes to a wobble of a hurricane track or something, because from San Antonio International Airport to Seguin, that's only 30 miles. So if Harvey had been 30 miles more to the west, we would have seen major devastating flooding in the San Antonio area. Again, 8 years, hard to believe that Hurricane Harvey made landfall. If you were with me over the weekend paying attention to the forecast, you know I was looking at an area over the Caribbean. Well, I'm happy to report that the National Hurricane Center has now said that development of this wave here is no longer expected. So we do not anticipate any kind of storms in the Gulf for that first week of September. For the rest of your day, it is going to be hot, 99, feeling like 101. By about sunset, we'll still be in the upper 80s. It'll be 83 degrees by midnight. Take a look at high temperatures today forecast. It's much cooler across the northern tier of the United States, even the Central Plains. This is that rare August cool front that's actually going to be moving into parts of North Texas tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's going to stall before it makes it to the Alamo City, but what we could see tomorrow in the afternoon is a couple of pop-up downpours. So we're going to call it about a 30% chance tomorrow night, and Wednesday for a few downpours. A small chance there for rain. Take a look at forecast highs tomorrow. Yes, we're still going to be hot here in San Antonio, but areas in Dallas are only going to be in the 80s. Areas in the Panhandle only in the 60s. We can only hope, right? We'll be looking at, on average, our first front by the end of September. So we'll keep you posted. The next big thing to talk about, take a look at that weekend forecast. Labor Day weekend, we could have some rain. I'll talk about that coming up at 12:30. We'll be right back after the break.
Well, local businesses in San Antonio are feeling the pressure from global tariffs, including a new rule set to hit this Friday that could raise costs even more.
An executive order from President Donald Trump will end the rule this Friday. The rule being cut allows foreign packages worth less than $800 to enter the country tariff-free. While it's already been suspended for China and Hong Kong, it's now going to hit the rest of the world. We visited vendors at the Pearl to hear how they're coping and what advice they have for others.
Farms we're working with were like, hey, we need to mail this out by this date, because if we don't, that's going to go from 15 to 24, potentially 34%. And it was really scary.
So tariffs have made importing essentials like matcha from Japan much more expensive, and others say sourcing locally has helped keep prices stable and provides peace of mind. So to read more, you can head over to KSAT.com. Redistricting, it's not just politics, it's about whose voice really counts. And right now, the battle over voting maps in Texas and other states across the nation could change representation in ways that the country has never seen before. So experts even calling it partisan warfare. And the voters most affected? Minority communities. Governor Greg Abbott is set to sign the new Texas maps any day now, but later this afternoon, we'll have more on why this fight could impact your political power.
Well, Southwest Airlines is changing its seating policy for plus-size passengers. Starting January 27th, passengers who take up space in the neighboring seat will have to buy an extra ticket, and it might not be refunded. The current rules allow flyers to buy an extra seat ahead of time and get refunded later, or request an extra seat at no cost at the airport. Those options made Southwest popular with many plus-size passengers, but the new rules mean the second seat will not be refundable unless the flight departs with at least one open seat and both seats are purchased within the same fare class. The move is the latest in a series of changes for Southwest. The carrier has also ended its open seating policy and instituted checked baggage fees.
The Powerball jackpot has jumped into a staggering $750 million in the 10th largest in games history. So no tickets match the winning numbers in Saturday's drawing, and that means what was already the biggest pot of the year will get even bigger. So the next drawing is set for tonight. If there is a winner, they will have the choice between an annualized $750 million prize or a lump sum payment estimated at about $338 million before taxes.
I'm playing. I
never
put my
do it,
$3 in the pot.
It's so hard not to.
If you don't play, you can't win, Courtney.
That's true.
And so why don't you increase our odds? Give us $3.
Okay, we'll go, all three of us. We're in it together.
Sounds good. So if you don't see us tomorrow at noon,
that means we're rich.
Bye. No, I'm joking.
No, okay. Hey, we have had 16 100-degree days so far this year. That's still 2 below the average for the year. We're running out of time here. Usually by September, we've only have 1 or 2 100-degree days throughout the entire month. So we'll have to wait and see. Today's going to be a day where we cut it close. I'm forecasting 99 for the high in San Antonio, so it is going to be close. Could very well be our 17th triple-digit day of the year so far. Meanwhile, up in the hill country, it will be a little bit cooler, but still hot. 95 in Bernie and in Helotes, 95 in Kerrville. It's going to be 99 in Floresville, Nixon, and Smiley. Now, looking ahead, we do have temperatures flirt with that triple-digit mark, especially by Friday. We'll be close to 100. Reason for that is we're going to see that heat high move overhead. But that heat high isn't going to stay overhead for long. In fact, I think by the weekend, Labor Day weekend, we'll have a chance for some rain with that heat high moving out of the way. I'm going to have those details for you coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, check this out. Universal City Police say they recovered all of this in a traffic stop that turned into a chase. That's cash, narcotics, and a gun inside of a person's car. So Universal City Police tell us that an officer tried to stop a car on 1604. However, the driver had other plans. That suspect led police on a pursuit that ended up in a crash in Converse. The suspect then tried to run away, but eventually that suspect was caught. Now, inside the car, officers found drugs, thousands of dollars in cash, a gun, and magazines. So this morning, the suspect faces a wide range of charges.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia today detained once again by Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Well, the man from El Salvador surrendering himself to ICE in Baltimore, Maryland this morning.
ABC's Perry Russum reports Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says he is now in the process of being deported for a second time.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia walking into the Immigration and Customs Enforcement office in Baltimore, Maryland this morning, hugging his wife as he faces possible deportation to Uganda.
Mi nombre es Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Before being detained today, the man from El Salvador thanking his supporters, encouraging them to fight, resist, and demand freedom. Just last Friday, Abrego Garcia was released from federal custody after months of legal wrangling. His deportation battle capturing the nation's attention ever since he was wrongfully deported to a notorious prison in El Salvador. The Trump administration accusing him of being a violent MS-13 gang member. The government releasing this video of a 2022 traffic stop in Tennessee. It says is proof he helped traffic undocumented immigrants. No charges were filed immediately after that stop. His attorneys say the government has little evidence to prove those claims.
It really is very clear that the government is far more interested in throwing around their weight and demonstrating what they think is their power to do whatever they want, whenever they want, to whoever they want.
The government of Costa Rica has said they would be willing to accept Abrego Garcia after any criminal sentence he may have to serve in the U.S. In a new lawsuit filed this morning, Abrego Garcia's attorneys accused the Trump administration of trying to deport him to Uganda instead of Costa Rica for refusing to plead guilty in his criminal proceedings. The Department of Justice says they will hold Abrego Garcia accountable and protect the American people.
The fact that they're holding, Costa Rica as a carrot and using Uganda as a stick to try to coerce him to plead guilty to a crime is such clear evidence that they're weaponizing the immigration system in a matter that is completely unconstitutional.
Still not clear where Abrego Garcia will be sent. In the meantime, his lawyer says he asked ICE which detention center his client would be sent to, and he did not get an answer. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Well, everyone experiences stress from time to time. It's just a normal part of life, but experts say long-term stress can worsen existing health problems or create new ones. So what you can do to manage your stress, coming up.
Well, if you are at risk for dementia, you might want to check out the Mediterranean diet. A new study finds the diet lower risk of dementia, especially people with the APOE4 gene.
The gene is a major genetic risk factor for Alzheimer's disease, and the Mediterranean diet is plant-based, full of fish, vegetables, fruit, nuts, whole grains, legumes, and olive oil. The diet also calls for little to no alcohol or red or processed meat.
Researchers found that people with two APOE4 genes reduced their probability of developing dementia by at least 35% when following the Mediterranean diet. The research followed 5,700 people for more than 3 decades.
Well, stress might be common, but it doesn't have to take over your entire life.
CNN's Mandy Gaither has 3 simple ways to help calm your body and your mind so that you can tackle stressful situations.
From the time you wake up to when your head hits the pillow again, many of us stay busy, and experts say constantly being on the go can lead to stress and anxiety.
Let's face it, life can be hectic, but making sure you stay mindful can help keep you cool, calm, collected.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says the first way to do that is simply focusing on your breathing. Deep breathing is a technique where you take air in slowly through the nose and then out through the mouth using the diaphragm and abdominal muscles.
Just doing that for 90 seconds, or even just taking 3 long, deep breaths, can help change the rhythm of your breathing, which then slows your heart rate and lowers your blood pressure.
The next strategy Gupta suggests isn't always an easy one, but he says practicing self-compassion can actually help calm your mind and body and reduce stress.
Take 20 seconds to rub the back of your neck or squeeze your upper arms, like a hug. It's a quick way to self-soothe and ease anxiety.
Finally, Gupta says just 1 minute of daily meditation can clear your head and slow your breathing.
After just a few weeks of these short meditations, you might want to add more time to the routine.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
My stress technique is going for a run, but right now it's too hot.
It's too hot.
It is hot.
Although Stephanie runs in this weather.
You do it in the morning?
In the morning or at
Okay.
night. Yeah, I like the shade. I'm a big fan.
I like the shade too, and we need some shade. It's going to be 99 degrees today, feeling like 101. In the pollen count, maybe don't take too deep a breath because molds are high, past 3,000. Aquifer is down 0.6 of a foot over the last 24 hours, almost 30 feet below the monthly average. We have small rain chances in the future, but I really want to spend some time and talk about the Labor Day weekend forecast coming up after this.
So we were talking about running outside. I in the beginning of August, I almost forgot it was August.
Yeah.
And I tried to go out for a run at like 3 p.m. one time.
No.
Yeah.
This
Beginner,
too hot.
that was like a beginner rookie mistake because Stephanie knows I don't like to run, but I was trying to like take charge. Yeah.
No, I mean, it can be misleading when you look out the window and it looks nice and you're, you know,
Yes.
we're inside so it doesn't feel too bad. And in the beginning, you're like, okay, I'm okay. But then after a while, no.
I was struggling. I
Oh
almost
my
called my husband to go pick me up like a mile away. I was
That's
like,
how you know it's bad, right? Now, this August has been a little bit hotter than average, but nothing compared to the last few summers. So, again, I think, like, yes, it's always going to be hot in San Antonio in August, but it could be a lot worse.
Oh,
Today,
for
though, we'll be close to 100 degrees, so don't go running today.
No.
Okay, I won't.
This
Thank you
afternoon.
guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. But now, I don't give you an excuse for the treadmill.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's inside.
Sarah, did you have, that is
Sorry,
aggressive.
girl. Sorry. All right. Hey, 99 for the high temperature today. Mostly sunny with a heat index of 101. It's still going to be 90 degrees by 8 p.m., y'all. So it is going to be a warm evening, 83 by midnight if you have any Monday night plans outdoors. Look at temperatures across the nation. Can you see where the cool front is? You don't need to be a meteorologist to see where the cool front is. It's the difference between the greens and the reds right there, working its way through the panhandle, is a rare cool front for North Texas this time of year. Highs are forecast to be in the 70s in Oklahoma. Meanwhile, here in San Antonio, we're going to be sizzling at 99. Dallas and Abilene will be hot today, but tomorrow their forecast highs are in the low 80s because of this front. Hate to say this, though, this front is not going to make it to the Alamo City. What we're going to see instead is it fall apart as it approaches central Texas, stall out. But one thing that could do for us is allow for 1 or 2 pop-up downpours during the afternoon tomorrow. Just like last week, it's going to be very spotty, 30% chance for a few showers and storms Tuesday night, and Wednesday before things dry back out by Friday. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. We've got that heat high right over the Four Corners region. And tomorrow and Wednesday, there's that small chance for rain, but generally that heat high is going to build in by Thursday and Friday. That'll be right overhead, and so it's going to be dry on Thursday and Friday, and it's going to be hot. We're going to be pushing close to 100 degrees on Friday. But just in time for the Labor Day weekend, that high is going to move out of the way. And I know a lot of people have plans outdoors over the Labor Day holiday. Know that with that heat high off to the west, what we're going to see is a few downpours develop in North Texas, and those outflow boundaries are going to provide a potential for some rain Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, right now, we have that at about a 30% chance through the Labor Day holiday, but with us having a lot of moisture in the air, it is possible that we could have some heavier rain as well Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That forecast is still 5 to 7 days away, and so we need some time to refine that forecast. We will keep you posted. Otherwise, it's going to be hot. Temperatures climbing to near 100 degrees Thursday and Friday. We'll keep you posted over the Labor Day holiday forecast. One last thing I want to leave you with is over the weekend, if you were watching the forecast, you saw that we had our eyes set on this disturbance in the Caribbean. I'm happy to report that there's development is no longer expected over the Caribbean. This will not be a system that forms or impacts the Gulf. Back to you guys.
That is good to know. Thanks so much. Also good to know you still have a chance to help the Hill Country and win free concert tickets. Anyone who donates at the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center can enter to win floor tickets to some of San Antonio's biggest shows. You can donate until September 20th to win tickets to the Jonas Brothers concert on October 18th. If you're interested, just scan the QR code on your screen to book your blood donation.
And nearly 2 months after the devastating Hill Country floods, Kerr County officials have some good news regarding their efforts to clean up. So Kerr County posted on Facebook that a combined 411,000 cubic yards of storm debris have been removed. So that is enough to fill a 32 football fields. So despite that progress, the county says there is still work to be done. And today marks 8 years since Hurricane Harvey made landfall on the middle Texas coast as a powerful and catastrophic Category 4 storm. So on the night of August 25th, 2017, Harvey struck near Rockport, Texas, and would go on to become one of the most destructive and costly natural disasters in U.S. history. After days of devastation in Texas, Harvey shifted east and made its final landfall near Cameron, Louisiana on August 30th of 2017. Hurricane Harvey was responsible for at least 68 deaths in Texas. There were an additional 35 indirect deaths attributed to factors like electrocution, vehicle accidents, and delayed medical care. We have more about the storm's widespread impact on our website, KSAT.com.
A far west side community is growing and its school district is trying to keep up the projects they have planned for the schools. The far west side is home to the third fastest growing school district in the region. That's Medina Valley ISD.
And as that area continues to grow, the district is keeping up with several new and improved projects that you, the taxpayers, helped make possible. And our Daphne Gray caught up with the superintendent to see how the district is using that money.
We're anticipating around 10,500 to 10,600 kids.
That's an increase in comparison to the 9,800 students that they finished the school year off with last year.
You know, we've been growing about 900 to 1,000 kids per year over the last 4 years.
As the fifth fastest growing school district in Texas, they're anticipating being right at 18,700 students by 2033.
Where is that coming from, you think?
So we have some moving out from the San Antonio area. We have some coming from other states. And then we also have a big military population.
Because of that growth and thanks to a couple of multi-million-dollar bonds, the district has been busy with a number of projects.
We're currently constructing a new high school, our second high school. We've named it Creekview High School. That will open in the fall of 26. We have a middle school campus that we just started construction on, and then 2 additional elementary campuses that will start construction on.
And with that expansion of campuses comes the needed expansion of security, where the district is spending around $7.5 million on safety and security projects.
We're upgrading our cameras. We're putting in key card access for all of our campuses, you know, to increase security. We have some reconstruction of our vestibules at each campus to make them a little bit more safe and secure. So we want our parents to feel confident, right, that their kid is going to be safe when they come to school.
All right, calling all foodies, here's your chance to try some amazing bites. The second annual Texas Eats Food Festival is happening next month, and you can get your tickets right now.
The fun starts at 3 p.m. on September 20th at the Boeing Techport Center. You'll be able to eat food from 20 top restaurants from across Texas, made by Michelin and James Beard award-winning chefs.
If you want to buy tickets, you can scan that QR code on your screen. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country.
And some of us will be there.
Yes.
Come hang out with us.
And your nominations, speaking of food and things like that, for the SA Picks 2025 contest are in. So we asked you to choose San Antonio's top businesses, and you did come through. So we received thousands of nominations across nearly 100 categories. You can scan that QR code on your screen right now to see the finalists, and you have from now until, hey, Texas Eats Festival, September 20th, to vote. So you can vote for each category once per day, and we'll announce the winners in late September.
We didn't do that on purpose.
No, it just happened to land on the same date.
We are going to be hot today with temperatures close to 100 degrees. If we hit 100, that'll be the 17th time we've done so this year. We're going to have a small chance for rain tomorrow and Wednesday as a cool front moves across North Texas. So close, yet so far, because we're still going to be in the mid 90s, even upper 90s and close to 100 degrees by Thursday and Friday. Then over the Labor Day weekend, I know we need rain, but not everybody's excited about the rain chance over the holiday weekend. One thing you can bank on for certain is that we are going to keep you updated as your weather authority. Forecasts, we still need to refine timing, rainfall amounts, and rain chances. So hope you tune in over the Labor Day weekend. I'll be here. I'll be working, laboring, but keeping you updated, of course.
Yeah, things can change so quickly.
They really can. Again, yesterday it was looking like we could have had potentially a storm in the Gulf, and now that chance is gone completely. So we will keep everybody up to date.
Good to have the chances. I mean, maybe at least some cloud cover over Labor Day weekend and not a complete rain out for
some free shade for the pool, right?
Stephanie loves the shade.
Yes, I'm a big fan of the shade. I'll take it all day.
That was a little inside joke from earlier.
Oh, yeah.
They were watching.
They were, of course. Have a great afternoon.